Hey, I'm Tony and welcome. I just wanted to do a quick behind the scenes walkthrough of this recent animation test that I created for a potential project. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to dive in and kind of show some of the work that went behind it. So first, what I want to do is just show you the final animation right here. And now let's go ahead and kind of dive into some of the behind the scenes content. So let me just move some of this stuff away. Okay, so how this project came to be is that I had a producer kind of reach out to me about a documentary. He was needing some kind of historic footage that he just didn't necessarily have access to, or it never existed. And so he's trying to fill gaps in his documented story by using animation to kind of either portray the scenes or talk about and educate people along, just so there's no gaps in the story and just to help build that context. So what I want to do is just kind of dive into how I've created this style and kind of the steps involved. So in terms of the style, it's a rotoscoped line drawing basically. And so what that means that rotoscoping is basically illustrating or drawing on top of video footage layer by layer. So typically videos are shot at around 24 frames, 30 frames per second, all the way up to 60 frames per second and even beyond. And so what I chose to do is replicate this process by recording myself over here on this left hand side. This was just kind of an iPhone video of me kind of dressing up into kind of a cowboy ish attire and just going out with a fake toy gun pistol and kind of acting out my desired poses for the animation. So this animation, since it is rotoscoping takes a lot of work and a lot of time. And so the more lines you have in your illustration or in the animation, the more lines you're going to have to basically draw every single frame. So like I was talking to earlier, videos tend to have a frame rate of like 24, 30, and so on. But for this particular instance, I wanted to lower that frame rate so that I had less drawings to do. So how this kind of worked out is I would choose my beginning pose, which is just standing up, holding the gun by my side, and then the animation would be moving from one pose to the other pose. And so I just needed to draw the 12 frames in between each pose. So that's why I am standing in each of these frames and then posing to a draw and kind of shooting the gun. And so you'll see I just kind of repeat it over and over. I'm really thinking about my silhouette and how that silhouette is communicating, trying to have a lot of like negative space and make sure that my limbs are not kind of covering itself, just so you have that strong silhouette. So you can see me kind of trying out different angles. This was in my front yard, so my daughter was actually like staring at me doing this. So I'm smiling because she was just like, "What are you doing, Dad?" Okay, so I tried that angle, and as you can see, this silhouette isn't as strong because you can't necessarily see the gun in profile. So it's kind of being blended in with the body. So I chose to go with that side profile. And you'll see it, this tiny little green blip right here at the 15-second mark, that was the clip that I chose to use. So just like, boom, standing up to shooting. Okay, so once I had that, I brought it over to my iPad and did a quick, or I guess not quick, I did the rotoscoping animation. So I lowered the frame rate of the animation to about 12 frames per second. So I only had to do with 12 frames and then illustrated over each one of those frames to end up with a animation that looked like this. and then it disappears. So let's play that. Bang. And then I can step through it by bang. Okay, so once I had that, then I brought it into After Effects, the software program that you see here, and I basically kind of just took it up a notch by adding more aesthetics and background elements and textures and things like that. So one thing I chose was this kind of watercolored wash background. I believe it naturally had a blue tint to it, as you can see here. And I did like this. I just thought it really kind of changed the mood. I thought this is a great example as well of how color can affect the mood. And then let's see, what else did I do this? I also added a little bit of dust and scratches. Oops. So you'll see I got a little bit of dust and scratches here. And then I also added some kind of particles kind of floating. I think this particular scene is inverted, so you'll see some kind of like water particles. I just thought that would kind of add a nice atmospheric element. And then I also turned this into a 3D camera so that it had some depth to it. And so you'll see we have this 3D camera, and I have my various layers in here of dust, and you'll see this camera is basically panning into the scene. So zooming in and whatnot, just to give it that kind of extra level of depth and appeal to the animation as it plays. Just kind of spice it up. The last thing that I want to just talk about is just kind of the revealing of the lines. Let's see, vignette, animation. I added this choker technique just to kind of have the line work reveal on. So you'll see that the line work appears on. And then at the very end, I had it disappear just to kind of create a little bit more of a start and end to this. All right, that pretty much completes my quick walkthrough of this project. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for future kind of quick, raw, behind the scenes coverage just like this. And if you find yourself needing animation for your project, or you think the animation might be suitable for kind of enhancing your content, or filling in the gaps for stories that you just cannot find footage for, whether it's B-roll or it's just too historic that you just can't access it, or you just want something that's designed to your brand, please feel free to reach out and say hello. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.